Change News.
This is Voice of Change Radio, the news read by Amanda Kumalo. A quick look at stories making the headlines. Chiefs endorse President Zanu-PF ahead of polls. In business news, Steward Bank unveils new online payment platform. In regional and international news, Malawi president attends funeral of cyclone victims. In sports, take money off to Mexico. For these and other stories in detail. Chiefs yesterday endorsed President Mnangagwa's candidature and Zanu-PF ahead of the 2023 harmonized elections, saying the ruling party's policies and ideology speak to the aspirations of the majority of people. Chiefs across the country resisted colonialism and were determined to maintain self-determination of Africans. Resistance to unjust and oppressive colonial rule culminated in the country's independence in 1980, with traditional leaders continuing to identify with those who fought to liberate the country. Addressing delegates who were attending the annual National Chiefs Council Conference, which ran for 2 days in Bulawayo, National Chiefs Council President Chief Fortune Charumbira said there is an inseparable relationship between the traditional leaders' institution and Zanu-PF. President Mnangagwa has said the government will continue resuscitating chieftainships that were abolished by the Rhodesian settler regime and implored chiefs to foster peace and unity as the country heads toward the harmonized elections. In 2019, government under the Second Republic resuscitated the Bere chieftainship in Mashava, which was abolished almost a century ago by the Rhodesian settler regime. The president further urged traditional leaders to be at the forefront of preserving culture and identity to help fight drug and substance abuse and child marriages. A new opinion poll has forecasted that President Mnangagwa will win the forthcoming presidential elections by an undisputable landslide. The president, whose government has transformed the country in less than 5 years through cross-cutting infrastructure development that leaves no one and no place behind, is the most preferred candidate of all presidential hopefuls for another term, according to the latest survey by Pan-African Forum Limited. Zimbabwe is preparing for harmonized elections, and initial preparations have started with different political parties warming up for the race. In business news, Steward Bank Zimbabwe has unveiled Steward Pay, an online payment gateway that facilitates the processing of local and international payments online via Visa, MasterCard, EcoCash, and Steward Bank accounts. Chief Executive Officer Mr. Courage Mashavave said the launch of Steward Pay is part of the bank's ongoing cycle of technology investment intended to meet its clients' continuously evolving digital needs. A look at what is happening beyond our borders. Malawi's president appealed on Wednesday for support as he attended the funeral of some of the victims of Cyclone Freddy in the southern city of Blantyre. The cyclone has killed at least 225 people in Malawi's southern region, including Blantyre, the country's financial hub, according to local authorities. Another 88,000 people are displaced. And finally, in sports, Top Zimbabwean female boxer Kudakwashe Chiwandire is expected to arrive in Mexico today, hopeful of shrugging off fatigue ahead of a Saturday fight against Yeimi Hamlet Mikado. Chiwandire left Harare on Monday via South Africa. She had a length stopover in France yesterday and will arrive today in Mexico. The Zimbabwean fighter's departure for Mexico was delayed by her opponent's camp, which took a long time to release documents that were needed to process the visa. That brings us to the end of this bulletin.
Voice of Change News.